The winning blueprint presents.
Okay, so more family business on the slate of games. The Tennessee Titans, fresh off of their bye, are looking to get a win and build off of the win that they had the week before their bye when they went to Miami and trolloped the Miami Dolphins. They're looking to build off of that by going to Jacksonville and handling a little bit of family business. The Jaguars, however, are coming off of the best loss you can have if you're a bad football team. And there's no such thing as a good loss. There's no moral victories in the NFL except when you're a bad team. If you're a good team, there's no moral victories. I don't want to hear about we were close. You're a bad team and you almost beat a really good team. Your fan base gets excited about that, especially when you haven't really shown any fight all season long. You show up against a really good team and almost win. It does something for your psyche mentally. You start to feel like, hey, if we can play with them, why can't we beat this team and that team and that team? Because you're not a good team. That's why you can't beat that team, and that team. However, you don't think that way anymore. You don't feel like this is another loss. You don't go into a game thinking we have to play perfect to win. If we just play our game, we should beat them. That's how you start to think when you come close to beating a really good team, like they did a week ago against Houston. So now, when you put the Titans in front of them at home, they're thinking now, why can't we beat these Titans? They're not that good. They got a young quarterback just like we do in his second year, struggling. And now they went ahead and put Blaine Gabbert on IR, which I thought was a smart move because for the rest of this season, I want to see what Chad Henne looks like. I want to see if Chad Henne is really this guy that lit the Houston Texans up, or is he the guy that was inconsistent in 3 years, 4 years of work in Miami? Is he that guy, or is he a newfound guy that had a chance to sit down, watch the game from the sidelines, has a new perspective, and now he can get it done in Jacksonville? I want to evaluate him for these last 7 games of the season. And I thought that was a smart move by Jacksonville. Don't allow Blaine Gabbert to just hang around with the injury, be looming over his shoulder. Give him the reins to this team. Give him this quarterback position and say, hey, it's yours for the rest of the season. Do with it what you must. We'll stand back and watch you and see what you've got. And so now it's Chad Henne's turn to pay them back for giving him this opportunity. Because I felt like he played some magnificent football last week. I mean, the throws that he made gave Jacksonville receivers the opportunity to make something happen after they caught the football, which is what Blaine Gabbert doesn't do. And so he gave them opportunities to make plays, and they responded by making plays. So I'm anxious to see what they look like at home. I'm buying the Jacksonville Jaguars Kool-Aid. Why am I doing this? I don't know. I can't even explain it to you. Doesn't make sense why, after watching them 1 week, I feel like they can beat this Tennessee Titans team. The Titans are the better team here. I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars have the advantage, however, at the quarterback position. I don't like what Jake Locker is doing right now. Jake Locker makes some good throws. He makes some good decisions. But he's a running quarterback that's still learning how to throw the football in the National Football League. You go look at his stats in that blowout win against the Dolphins, you will not be impressed with his passing numbers. They weren't that good. I watched the game. I wasn't impressed with what I saw. He made some plays with his legs, however, which, if you're a defense, those are backbreakers. When you're playing good defense, sound coverage, quarterback tucks it and runs, gets a first down on 3rd and 7, those hurt. And that's what Jake Locker brings to this offense, something that Matt Hasselbeck couldn't do, which is run the football from the quarterback position. However, I think Jacksonville will do an adequate job of slowing down Chris Johnson. If Chris Johnson gets off, it's going to be a long day for Jacksonville. But I tell you one thing, this Jacksonville Jaguars defense all season long has been one of these defenses that has hung in until the offense finally does too much for them to be able to keep up. They have given themselves a chance to hang into ball games all season long, and have this offense not get first downs on third down, turn it over, not convert points when they've given them turnovers, and they've watched this offense help them self-destruct all season long. Well, now if this offense can start to get things done, man, this Jacksonville Jaguars defense might actually be on to something. They might actually be a viable team. You don't know because you haven't seen the consistency from the offense yet, but there's a chance that this Jacksonville Jaguars team could be a viable option later on in the season. They might not be the walkover and the pushover that they've been all season long. We'll see. We'll see what that performance from Chad Henne last week means in the grand scheme of things. Was that just a out-of-body experience, or is he actually the best option for this Jacksonville Jaguars team? We'll see. We will see. But I'm buying into what I saw last week. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but I just like what I saw last week. I think this Jacksonville Jaguars team has more talent than we think. And so I have them beating the Tennessee Titans 23-20 at home. That's probably one I'm going to regret, but I'm willing to go out on a limb for this one. They showed me something last week. Again, the theme. They showed me last week, so I'm giving them the opportunity this week to show me again, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. 23-20. Jacksonville gets their second win of the season, taking them to 2-9 on the season. Meanwhile, the Titans, coming off their bye, will be disappointed by the Jacksonville Jaguars as they will drop to 4-7 on the season after losing this football game to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So next up on the slate of games, the Atlanta Falcons are traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. This is going to be a whale of a football game. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are playing some red-hot football of late. They should have lost last week. They escaped last week. But those are the type of wins, and I said it last week, those are the type of wins that define your season. If they make the postseason, they'll look back on that Carolina win and say, that was the game right there that made us believe that we could get it done no matter what the circumstances. That game changed our season. You look at the Falcons, who came off of a equally as impressive win because they played terrible last week. They should have lost as well. Luckily enough for them, they were playing the Arizona Cardinals. So what that means is you can turn it over 6 times and still win because you're playing the Cardinals. And the Cardinals don't like to score points. They're allergic to points. And so you turn it over 6 times, all you like, that's fine. We're not going to take those turnovers and turn them into points. You're good. Don't worry about it. And that's what happened. They were able to come away with the 23-19 win a week ago, but make no mistake about it. They can't afford to go on the road, family business again, and expect to play as bad as they did. And really, for the last 2 weeks, they haven't really played well. And if you want to say they didn't play well against the Cowboys, I'll give you that one as well and say the last 3 weeks, they really haven't played strong football. They really haven't played an all-around good game since they beat up on the Eagles after their bye. So this is a game that they have to win. If you're the Atlanta Falcons, all the goodwill that you've done this season, starting out 8-0, being the last undefeated team, all that goes out the window if you can't even handle business and reign supreme over your own division. You've already lost to New Orleans, who was the Don Dada in that division for the last 3-4 seasons. You already lost to them. And so, lose to Tampa Bay on the road if you like. Go ahead and lose another road game in this division and see how much respect you garner in this division. Okay? You will lose every ounce of respect that you have built throughout the course of this season in 2 games if you can't beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You would have lost to the Saints on the road. You would have lost to the Buccaneers. And that will show everyone around the league that this Atlanta Falcons team isn't that good on the road. And even though it'll only be 2 losses, those will be 2 loud losses. 2 losses that will resonate around the rest of the league. Because right now, you've been winning close ball games. You haven't been exerting dominance over anyone. You've been squeaking out wins, and it's okay because it's a win. A win is a win is a win is a win. And if you're winning, that wipes away everything else. Everything else goes away. No one cares that it was by 1, it was by 3, it was by 2, it was by 4. No one cares about that. All they care about is that you were able to put another one in the left-hand column. So if you can continue to do that, it's okay. So if you go on the road to Tampa Bay and show these Bucks, these young upstart Bucks, that, hey, you're playing good football, but you're not ready to deal with the Atlanta Falcons, then you will gain a lot of respect around the league and in your own division. But if you let these Bucks push you around, score 30-something points on you, and beat you in this game, I'm going to tell you right now, all that good work you've done, all of those points that you built early in the season by winning those close ball games, teams are going to start to doubt you. You're going to start being disrespected. You're going to have to work that much harder to be a good, because you're going to start, mentally, you're going to start to doubt yourself. When you win close games, you start to think mentally, we can get it done. We're going to find a way to win. That's what we do. We win close ball games. You start losing games, and all of a sudden, you start to have different thoughts creep into your brain. Now you start thinking, we're going to find a way to not get it done. We're going to do something here that's not going to allow us to win this game. You start to think differently. And that's what this Falcons team has done a good job of not doing this season. They've done a great job of winning games and not allowing that doubt to creep into their mind. You start losing games inside the division, on the road, and all of a sudden now, you're not a good road team. You get labeled as a team that can't get it done on the road, even though you've probably won 4 games on the road already this season. You start getting labeled as a team that can't get it done on the road. And even though you don't need to feed into that nonsense, there's going to be guys that start to think negatively. And so you don't want that doubt to creep into your locker room. You need to continue to exert dominance over your division. Tampa Bay can get it done. I feel like they've played well over the last couple of weeks. Last week was a terrible game. And both of these teams are coming off of terrible games last week. They both found ways to win, and that's a mark of a good football team. You don't play your best football, yet you still find a way to win. That's what these two teams did last week. But if Tampa Bay thinks they can play the same way they played a week ago against Carolina and come out with a win, they're sadly mistaken. Same thing with the Atlanta Falcons. You think you can turn it over 6 times and you're going to beat Tampa Bay? You're wrong, because the one thing Tampa Bay will do that the Cardinals didn't do a week ago is that they're going to turn turnovers into points. They're not going to allow you to turn it over and just kick field goals or not get enough first downs or not get a first down to get in the field goal range. You turn it over, give them good field position. They're going to deposit that into points. Whether it's a touchdown or 3, it remains to be seen, but they're going to get points. You're going to be in trouble. This is another show-me game. It's family business. It's a divisional matchup. 2 teams that know each other well. They are going to play each other tough. But again, Tampa Bay has to show me. Show me that you're ready to take that next step and become a playoff team this year. No one expected you to be a playoff team this year. You were supposed to be a potential playoff participant next year or maybe the year after that. Greg Schiano has this team playing inspired football. Show me that you want to be a playoff participant this year. And let's not talk about next year. We want to go to the show this year. Show me. Meanwhile, Atlanta, you're a dominant team, have been all season long, haven't been blowing anyone out, but you've been winning football games, a mark of a good team. Show me that you can exert your dominance over this division. You already lost 1 game on the road in this division. People are going to start doubting whether you're the best team in this division if you can't get it done on the road again. So show me that you can get it done in this division and keep winning football games, get home field advantage, and quiet any notion that you can't get it done on the road. Show me that you're the best team in the NFC South division. Show me. We're going to see. I think they will show me. I have confidence that the Falcons will not continue to play the football that has plagued them the last couple of weeks and put them in positions to lose games, ultimately losing one of these games, winning one, but they're not going to put themselves in a position to lose another football game by not playing good enough on the road. I think they're going to get it done. Last week should be a wake-up call. It should be a wake-up call. Julio Jones' injury is affecting this offense. Maybe he's able to play, maybe he's not. Whatever the case is, they have to step up and make plays. I see them winning this game 27-24 on the road. If they turn it over, and we've seen, if Tampa Bay can get to Matt Ryan, He's a guy that turns it over in bunches. He doesn't just throw one interception or maybe two. He's a guy that throws 3, 4, 5 interceptions at a time. So if you get to Matt Ryan, who knows? You may be able to get you a little something. And if they can get turnovers, this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team can win this game because we've seen what they can do on offense. With Vincent Jackson, Doug Martin, Mike Williams, and the rest of that crew. Sprinkle in a little bit of Dallas Clark. This is a potent offense. And so they have to take care of the ball. I think they will. I think they'll get it done 27-24, taking their record to 10-1 on the season, dropping the Bucs to 6-5 on the season. You look at the next matchup, the Seattle Seahawks are traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Two teams coming off a bye, two teams heading in opposite directions. The Dolphins were playing great football at 4-3 at the 8th week of the season, and they were on to something. They were playing some strong football. They looked like a team that was starting to get it. They go into Indianapolis. They don't get it done. And from there, their season has taken an absolute straight spiral nosedive. They have not won since. They haven't looked good in any of the games that they've played in. They've looked like a shell of themselves, and they've reverted back to the team at the beginning of the season that couldn't stop turning the football over. And that's their biggest issue right now is turnovers. Have a young quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, a rookie who, for all intents and purposes, has played solid this season, but the turnover has been his issue. And when he's not turning it over, the Dolphins are winning. When he is turning it over, the Dolphins are losing football games. That's what he's been doing of late, turning the football over. He went from a span of week 5 to week 8 of not turning it over to the last 2 games in week 9 and week 10 of having interception totals of 3 and 2 in consecutive games. And so he's got to stop turning the football over. He's a guy that, if he's given time in the pocket, can find receivers, can make smart decisions, can use his legs, but he's got to be better with the football. He can't turn it over. He can't make the big mistake if this Dolphins team wants to win. And they're coming up against a defense that's going to turn him over. I have no doubt in my mind this Seattle Seahawks defense is going to force him into at least 2 bad throws in this game and make him pay for it. And so there's no doubt in my mind that the Dolphins have played their best football of the season. That train has already hit the station. It's gone. It's not coming back. They've played the best that they can play this season. And they've won more games than I thought that they were going to win this season. So kudos to them for playing better football. They're probably going to win another game or 2 this season, get to about 6 wins, but they're not good enough to beat this Seattle Seahawks team. Even though they're home and they're coming off of a bye, it doesn't matter. The Seahawks defense, they're licking their chops. They know what's in front of them, and they're going to get pressure on this Dolphins team. They're not going to allow them to run the ball. The Dolphins haven't been running the ball that well anyway of late. I think they're going to stop the run, make Ryan Tannehill try to beat him, force him into mistakes, and then they're going to look across the field at what the Seahawks are doing, and that's going to be the template that they need to follow because they have the same dynamic going on across the field in Seattle with their rookie quarterback and Russell Wilson, but they're handling him in a different way. They're not putting a lot on his shoulders and saying, hey, go win us the game. They're running the football with Marshawn Lynch. He's going beast mode, going over 100 every game, scoring a touchdown or 2 every game. And then Russell Wilson is just complimenting that, making throws when he needs to, making the right reads, not turning it over, helping them win football games. That's what he's going to do in this game on Sunday against the Dolphins. They're going to go into Miami, play sound football, not turn it over, do everything that it takes to win on the road, get it done 23-13, beating this Dolphins team, sending them to their 7th loss of the season against 4 wins. Meanwhile, the Seahawks will elevate their record to 7-4 and become relevant players in the NFC West because the San Francisco 49ers have a tough matchup against the Saints, which we'll get to in a little bit. And if they lose that game, guess who's knocking on the door? Guess who's knocking? The Seattle Seahawks. Are the San Francisco 49ers going to open up that door and let them in? Probably not. But doesn't matter. They're knocking. And that's all you want is an opportunity to have it knock. Now, will you be able to get into that door? Don't know. But I think the Seahawks are going to put themselves in a position to fight for this NFC West division crown. This is going to be interesting. They need to take care of business first and foremost in Miami on Sunday to make these games down the stretch matter. And I think they will, 23-13. This next matchup on the slate is family business, but it's not the type of family business that gets my blood going, that gets me encouraged, gets me motivated and hyped to talk about the games. And This is a matchup that's a mismatch. The Denver Broncos are traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the worst team in the National Football League. The Broncos are playing really good football. Peyton Manning is playing some of the best football of his career. There's not a lot to talk about in this game, so I'm not going to talk about this game at great lengths. I'm just going to tell you that the Broncos are going to go in, dominate the Kansas City Chiefs like everyone else has, force turnovers, score off of those turnovers, make this thing and blow out. It's not going to be a close game. The Chiefs are going to lose this game like they've done, 9 other games this season. They're not a good football team. They don't have a quarterback. Romeo Crennel is probably a lame duck coach walking. There's a lot of bad things going on in Kansas City right now. You look at the other side of the field in Denver. They're playing good football. They're probably going to win the AFC West after beating the one lone contender in that division for the second time this season in San Diego. They're going to go into Kansas City, do what other teams have done this season, which is go into Kansas City, smack them around, come out with the victory. 30-10, Broncos get it done on the road versus the Kansas City Chiefs. They go to 8-3 on the season. Meanwhile, the Chiefs drop to 1-10 on the season. We move on. Next game up on the slate, the Baltimore Ravens are traveling to San Diego to take on the Chargers. This is a scary game for the Ravens because last year the Ravens were the better team. They went into San Diego on Sunday Night Football. And they got beat up. And they got beat up good. And so that can happen again because this Baltimore Ravens team isn't as good as they were last year, and they got beat up last year. And we've seen this season that Baltimore doesn't mind not playing defense in a whole entire game. And we've seen that Baltimore doesn't mind not scoring points in a whole entire ball game. So they can go into San Diego and lay an egg. They can, but guess what? They won't. They won't. You know why they won't? Because of the number one rule they won't. The number one rule says you don't trust the San Diego Chargers. And that's why the Ravens are going to find a way to win this game. Because you don't trust the San Diego Chargers. Because the Chargers aren't a good football team. They don't do the things that good football teams do to win games. Yet they do the opposite. They do what bad teams do. They make the critical error at the worst juncture of the game to ensure that they will lose. And that's what I expect this Chargers team to do against the Ravens. The Ravens got by the skin of their teeth a week ago in Pittsburgh in a game that they should have won, that they needed to win, and they got it done. That's what good teams do. They find a way to win games that they need to win. You look at this Chargers team, they needed to win last week at Denver. You knew they weren't going to win at Denver last week. They couldn't beat Denver at home after Denver spotted them 24 points. You knew they weren't going to beat Denver. And so this is a team now, they're just playing for pride. They're playing for the job of North Turner, which I think is already gone. They're playing for the job of A.J. Smith, which I think is already gone. They're playing for their jobs as players on this team because you know when new coaches, new staffs, new GMs come in, they want to bring in their guys. They want to bring in guys that they feel fit what they want to do. And so if you're around and you're not putting on good tape, you're gone next year. So they're playing for their jobs as well. Problem is, that's not good enough to beat the Baltimore Ravens. Don't think they're going to win this game. I don't think they're a good enough football team to beat the Ravens. I think the Ravens will find a way to win this game 27-20. Take the Ravens to 8-3 on the season. Meanwhile, drop this San Diego Chargers team down to 4-7 on the season. And that probably will end the theme of Thanksgiving. Stick a fork in them as well. They are done in the AFC if they can't find a way to win this game against Baltimore at home, which I don't think they will. You look at the next game on the slate, and it sees the San Francisco 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints. This is going to be a good matchup. I'm really anxious to see how the 49ers respond. First of all, who's starting? I think Colin Kaepernick is going to get the nod. I think long-term, Alex Smith is your answer because the team believes in Alex Smith. Until he can't get it done in the playoffs one more time, you can't make the change in the middle of the season for the psyche of the rest of the team. They think and they look at Alex Smith as their leader. If you tell them, no, it's not him, it's Colin Kaepernick this deep into the season, what does that say? What is the message that you send to your team? You can't do that. And then if Colin Kaepernick doesn't show you what he showed you a week ago, he starts to falter and you start to lose ball games and you go back to Alex Smith, it's not the same anymore. The dynamic has changed. I don't respect Alex Smith as the leader of this team anymore. So you have to go back to Alex Smith. If he doesn't play this week, it's because he didn't take enough reps. That's what you tell the team. And even if you win this game, you go back to Alex Smith. And at the end of the season, I think then you make the change. But right now, I don't think it's the time for that. You don't want to have dissension in the locker room, picking sides between quarterbacks. You tell them Alex Smith is our quarterback, and you move forward from that point. But in this game, the Saints are playing hot football. And I said if they can get on a hot streak, if they can play some of the best football they've played all season long, they can get back into this playoff race. I think it's too late. But if they can win a game like this at home against the 49ers, they got a shot. And for as much as I think that they can score on this 49ers, as much as I think they can score on this 49ers defense and win this game, they have to show me. This is show me week. This isn't, give them respect off of what they've done in the past week. No, this is show me week. Show me that you want to have a legitimate chance to go to the playoffs this year. After starting the season 0-4, after starting the season as a bad football team, show me that you want to scratch and claw your way back into the NFC playoff picture. Show me that you are a legitimate option and that you can still beat the best of the best, the creme de la creme in the NFC. Show me that. And you will have earned my respect because you lost my respect. I have one loss in my survivor picks this year, and it came from you letting Kansas City come back from an 18-point deficit in the fourth quarter. So I don't respect you. I still don't respect you. You want my respect? Earn it. Show me that you can beat one of the best teams in the NFC at home. And show me you can go and get over 500 for the first time this season and be a relevant player in the NFC. Show me. Meanwhile, San Francisco has a dilemma on their hands. They don't know who to play at quarterback. I think this week you go with Colin Kaepernick. He's a change-up. He's different. Saints haven't seen him before. Like the Bears, this defense wouldn't have seen him before. It'll be a change-up for them. Don't know if they'll be able to adjust on the fly. But moving forward, you need to put Alex Smith in the game. You can play good enough defense to beat this Saints team. We know your defense is a good defense. Are you elite anymore? I don't think so. But this is the game to show me, if you want me to think, that you can still get it done on defense. I saw what you did to a short-handed Bears offense last week. You did what you were supposed to do to a short-handed Bears. Bad offensive line, no Jay Cutler. You went in and you dominated. This is a good offense in the Saints. Can you go on the road? Can you pack up that defensive intensity, take it on the road and get a win? Can your quarterback play as well as he did a week ago? Can your offense function as well as they did a week ago and win on the road in the Superdome against the New Orleans Saints? Those are a lot of questions to be answered. And I think you can do it because you're a good football team. Show me that you can do all of these things. I need to see it though. But I trust you because you've done it all season long. Unlike the Saints who haven't done it all season, you have. And so show me. Again, I need a reminder. I need a constant reminder that you're a good football team. Show me that you can go out on the road and beat a team that's surging, that's playing good football in their own backyard. I think you will. And so I have the San Francisco 49ers winning this game on the road against the Saints 24-23. This is going to be an absolute great football game. I can't wait to watch it. I think it's going to be one of the better games of the weekend. And this is a weekend filled with close games, and this is probably going to be one of the closest of all the games on the slate this week. If the 49ers can win this game, they'll go to 8-2-1 on the season. Meanwhile, the Saints, after really playing good football, winners of 3 straight, found a way to get back to 500, trying to get over 500. If they can't win, which I don't think they will, they'll drop back under 500 after getting to 500. They'll drop to 5-6 on the season. The next matchup, more family business, but this is an intriguing family business. This is two bad teams playing each other, and you got the Rams on the road traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. This is ugly. This is not compelling football. These are two bad teams. The Cardinals don't know what they want to do with their quarterback position. The starting rookie, Ryan Lindley, out of San Diego State, he's raw. He's not ready to start in the National Football League. I think they found a little bit of that out last week, but they don't have any options at quarterback. They're running out of options. They're a mess because what do you do at quarterback next year moving forward? Do you draft a quarterback? What do you do? I don't know what the Cardinals are going to be able to do because their defense is good enough to have them in the playoffs this year. And their defense isn't the best, but they force turnovers. They play sound defense. They have a good defensive line. They're not that bad against the run. They play pass coverage okay. They can be had in the secondary, but they play good enough to give their team a chance to win just about every week. But this offense is a mess. And it starts with the quarterback position. The Rams, on the other hand, I was so disappointed. I threw up in my mouth watching them a week ago against the Jets. They really disappointed me in ways I can't even explain. I have no respect for the Rams now. I thought they were building something. I thought they were doing something out there, moving in the right direction. I was wrong. They're still the same Rams that turn the football over, don't know how to get in the end zone, don't know how to score points. They don't know how to protect home. They're going on the road. They can win this game. They probably should win this game. I don't trust them. I went out on a limb last week, picked them to win at home against the Jets. They threw up all over themselves. I'm not messing with the Rams. They probably might win this game, but they want me to believe that they can go and win against a bad Arizona team. Fine. But you have to show me. And until you do, I'm not picking you. I gave you a chance last week. You made me look like a fool. I won't go for it again. You won't fool me twice in a row. Arizona will get the win. This will be an ugly football game filled with field goals and mistakes. But the team who kicks the last field goal, makes the least amount of mistakes, will win. I think that'll be Arizona. 16-13. Cardinals get the win at home. They go to 5-6 on the season after winning 4 straight, then losing 6 straight. They snap this losing streak at home against the Rams, go to 5-6. Meanwhile, the Rams, who got to 3-3 on the season, if you can believe that, at one point was at 500, at 3-3 on the season, now will be 4-7 on the season. And I don't like either one of these teams. If I could just call this game a wash and pick no one, I would, but I can't. So I'm going with the home team. Cardinals find a way with their rookie quarterback, Ryan Lindley, to get it done. And really, this probably will be a repeat of what we saw early in the season, where the Rams just pin their ears back, go after the quarterbacks of the Cardinals, and just get pressure on them, because we know this Cardinals offensive line is straight garbage. But again, I don't trust the Rams. They really, really disappointed me last week. So they have to show me this week that they can go on the road and beat a team. It's family business. It's going to be close. Just think the team that makes the least amount of mistakes and kicks the most field goals will win. And I think that will be the Arizona Cardinals. Moving on, probably the matchup of the week. To me, for my money, without a doubt, after my game, of course, is the Green Bay Packers traveling to the New York Giants on Sunday Night Football. This might be the best Sunday Night Football matchup all season long thus far. You got the Giants coming off a bye. They're not playing good football. They have looked like a shell of themselves from early in the season. They're now 6-4, have 2 teams in their own division, being the Redskins and the Cowboys, breathing down their necks, applying pressure to them. They got a big matchup with the Redskins on Monday Night Football looming after this game. They dropped this game to the Packers, and all of a sudden that game on Monday Night Football in Washington is for first place in the division. So they know they can't afford to drop this game against the Packers. You look at the Packers, they're starting to get healthy. Greg Jennings has practiced. He may play after having the groin issues. He might be able to play. Jordy Nelson has been dealing with a myriad of injuries. He's probably going to go. We've seen Randall Cobb and James Jones step up in the absence of these receivers. You sprinkle in a little bit of Jermichael Finley, all of a sudden the Packers are starting to look like that offense that we know can score 40 points in the blink of an eye. Now, you can't expect guys to just come into the game and pick up right where they left off as if they were never injured. There's going to be some rust with Greg Jennings. There's going to be some timing issues with Jordy Nelson. Once they work out those kinks, if they can run the football, and let's not forget, right before the bye, they ran the football well 2 games ago with James Starks. And so if they can get a semblance of a running game, Cedric Benson should be back any moment. You get James Starks running the ball. You sprinkle in a little bit of Alex Green. All of a sudden, the Packers can run. They can throw it. And they're healthy. They're a dangerous team. Now, on defense, they're banged up. There's no Clay Matthews. There's no Nick Perry. There's no Charles Woodson. This is a banged up roster on defense right now. Guys are going to have to step up. And so, this is going to be a great football game. I can't wait to watch. Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Giants, Packers, 2 last Super Bowl winners, head-to-head, 2 teams that played a classic last year in the regular season. You can't ask for much more than that. Giants, they know what time it is. Every time you start to doubt the Giants, they show up and play a magnificent football game. Everyone's doubting them. I expect them to show up and play the game of the season for them. And I expect the Packers to show up and give them everything they thought they were going to get in this game and then some. It's going to be a matchup of epic proportions in this season. And so I see this being a great matchup. I see Aaron Rodgers being able to take advantage of this less than stellar Giants secondary. I see the Giants coming off this bye, being able to look at this Packers team for what they are and see that they have holes and deficiencies on the defensive end. Eli Manning, I expect him to snap out of this funk, start throwing the football with more confidence. I see this game as being a high-scoring game, a shootout, a back-and-forth game where, and just like it was last year, I think the game was something like 36, 35, 38, 35 last year. I expect something along those lines this year. It's going to be fun, but I think the Giants, everyone is counting them out in this game. And I hate to pick the Giants because I want them to lose so bad so that Monday night matchup next week is for first place with the Redskins. But I just think that everyone is selling the Giants short. And yes, this is what the Giants do this time of year. We all know that. This is that mid-season collapse, this mid-season lull that the Giants go through every year. But I just think that they're going to find a way to get it done. At home, against the Packers, 27-24, the Giants are going to get it done. This is going to be fun. I can't wait. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they lose this game, but I just think that the Giants, I have a feeling in my gut, the Giants are going to get it done in this game. And they're going to take their record to 7-4 in the season. Meanwhile, the Packers, who just got in first place, will find themselves back in the second place after this game is all said and done as they go on the road and lose to the Giants and drop their record to 7-4 on the season as well. And so that's going to do it for the Sunday matchups. Throw it up. That's a touchdown. That's right. Throw it up. Want to tack on this quick extra point. This is Show Me Week in the National Football League. And so teams have to show me what it is they want to do this season. If you want to take a step back and you don't want to be a relevant player, it's okay. Everyone can't go to the playoffs. Everyone can't play meaningful football in late December, early January. It's okay. Show me, though. Give me an idea as to what you are. It's okay if you're not a team that's going to light it up, that's going to play good football down the stretch, and is going to give yourself a chance to get a ticket to the dance. It's okay. Everyone isn't supposed to go. So if you're the Giants, show me that you want to win this division. Because if you don't, it's okay. I don't mind taking it off your hands. Neither does Dallas. It's okay if you don't want to go to the playoffs this year. It's okay if you don't want to have a run at repeating as champions in the National Football League. It's okay. Show me what you want to do. You feel Tampa Bay? Show me you can beat the best team in your division. Show me that you really want a chance to go to the playoffs this year. Show me. If you're the 49ers, show me you can pack up that intensity that you had on Monday Night Football and take it on the road against a good offense. Show me. If you're the Colts, show me you really want to go to the playoffs. Because you can't squander opportunities to beat teams like the Bills at home. You can't do it if you want to go to the playoffs. Show me. You want to go to the playoffs. Show me. We've already had teams show what they were or weren't this week already on Thursday. We saw that the Jets aren't a serious contender to do anything other than embarrass themselves. We saw that. They showed me. Thank you. We saw that the Cowboys really aren't ready to take that step forward in the NFC East. Thank you. I appreciate that. Show me. And that's what they did. They showed me that they're not ready to take that next step yet. Meanwhile, the Redskins showed me, hey, we're here to stay. We haven't played the best football all season long, but we're here to make a run. We're not going away quietly. And if teams aren't careful, we'll march right back into this thing. And that's all I wanted to see. Show me. Lions, show me that you still have a pulse. Show me that you can get it done when the pressure is its greatest. They couldn't do it. They showed me that they aren't ready to make another appearance in the playoffs for 2 consecutive seasons. That's okay. That's okay. Cincinnati, show me that you can blow out and destroy a bad Oakland Raiders team at home. Show me that you can dispose of a team that you're supposed to at home and put yourself in a position to compete for a playoff spot in the AFC. Show me. Steelers, show me you can take a third-string quarterback on the road and do enough to win a game. Not asking it to be pretty, because I don't think it will be, but just get one in the left-hand column. Show me. It's a lot of things to look at this week. There's a lot of matchups that pose a very interesting storyline, and so it's a lot to watch out for this week. Jacksonville, show me that I'm not just taking a leap of blind faith and giving you a win this week. Show me that Chad Henne can be a viable quarterback in this league as a starter. Show me that you can be a viable team in the National Football League and not just be a runover and a win for another team every single week. Show me you can win some family business. Show me. A lot going on, and that is going to do it for this episode. There's a lot of games this week that are going to be very competitive. I think this is the most competitive week of football we've seen all season, and it's a lot of show-me games. And so I can't wait to watch the league this week and see what teams do. It's going to be fun. And again, a lot of teams have to show me. We're going to find out a lot about the NFL this week, a lot about who's going to take that step forward, who's going to take that step back, and who's going to really make a go of it to try and get a ticket to the dance. There's only 6 of them in each conference. There's only 12 total. No, everyone's not going. No, everyone doesn't get a seat at the table. So you can play around all you like, but it's starting to come down the stretch, and everybody doesn't get a ticket. Everyone's name isn't on the list. You know, you can show up and get in line, but if your name's not on the list, you're not getting in. You're not getting past this tape here. And there's a big security guard at the gate of the playoffs. And he stops any clowns that try to come in, that didn't earn the right to have their name on the list. And so you can show up. Yeah, Oakland Raiders, party of 6. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Not coming in. Your name's not on the list. Cincinnati Bengals, party of 2. Nope. Sorry, you didn't make it. This is the time for you to step forward and give yourself a chance to actually put your name on that list. And we're going to see what happens this week. I thank you for joining me on this episode of In the Lab Room. It's been a long episode, as Friday episodes normally are, but we got it done. You have all of my picks for this week. Let's hope that I have another outstanding week like I did a week ago. And I expect to. This is a tough week. These are the weeks that show that you actually can pick them in the National Football League. You know, last week I thought was a very easy week to pick if you had been paying attention to the league. This is one of those weeks that you may know what you're talking about and still not get it done this week. This is a lot of close games, but if you're able to do it, and you really get a couple of pats on the back if you can get it done this week. That's what I plan on doing. Again, like me on Facebook. In the Lab Room is the page on Facebook. Every episode that I've ever done is on the Facebook page. Check it out. Like the page. I'm also on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. At In the Lab Room is the Twitter handle. Also, inthelabroom@gmail.com is the email. You drop something in the inbox, I'll respond to it immediately. Everything comes to my email, so even if you tap into the show in another way, I'm going to see it regardless because it's coming into the inbox. And also, the easiest, most efficient way to get your hands on the show, to get in contact with me, is via YouTube. And the show is on YouTube, and I have to upload it. And I thank you guys for supporting the show and, you know, being in contact with me, communicating with me. We're all fans. We all love it. You know, we all pour in our emotions to this thing. We love football. It's the best sport in the world. I wouldn't trade my fandom for anything. I love the sport of football. And this is what we do. This is what I do. And I thank you for supporting me. And love to see you back here on Monday when we go over all the slate of games, talk about the things that happened over the weekend that was, get into our slate skating and see what went down and see how I was able to do, see how the lab was able to do with prognosticating these games. And also, you know, take a look at what these teams have done and what it means for the divisional standings. I am ready to give you the show. I finished the intro. Everything is ready to go. All systems go. The divisional standings show is coming your way after this slate of games. There's no reason to do it now because games are about to take place. No reason to come at you with a show that will mean nothing in just 2 days. So I'm going to come at you with that divisional standing show here shortly. It's done. It's ready to go. I just need the information to spit it out to you, and I will have that information come Sunday night. Thank you for joining me again. Hope to see you here, same time, same place on Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Continue to enjoy your weekend. I'm going to drop this last nugget on you before I go. My Notre Dame Fighting Irish will win at USC. We will see you in the title game. For all you Notre Dame haters out there, hi, we're going to the title game. See you on Monday. Have a good one, and as always, take care of yourself. Enjoy the family, enjoy the friends, enjoy the shopping, enjoy the TV, enjoy the football. See you back here Monday.
Mm-hmm.